live yet. I think it is. To an audience of precisely no one, because a wise woman told me I should do so, and I love it. Why did I never do it before? I like it very much. So I'm going to upload maybe daily rants. Let's see how it goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the topic of the day. So this is my current rant, and I'm going to share my screen. It's currently the 11th of June, 2025. So I'm going to share this show on stream. Okay, look at that. Ha ha. That's the new OS interface that Apple are about to foist on all of us prisoners of their microcosm, which I haven't left, even though they pissed me off majorly a number of times throughout the years. I think when was I the most enraged? Was it when they soldered the RAM so I couldn't upgrade my own RAM anymore? That also at the same time that soldered the hard drive, so you can't upgrade anymore, which was the whole point of Macs. I won't go down that very slippery slope. So here we are, liquid glass. Yesterday and the day before, the whole internet was on fire, taking the piss, quite frankly, out of this new interface, unless you were around in 2006-7 and you remember Windows Vista, which looked very, very much like this. Actually, in fact, I haven't done a search of it. I am going to do it for you. Windows Vista interface. There you go. It's similar. Can you tell? It's really quite funny. So what I find truly extraordinary is that this really, it's nothing new. This is not groundbreaking in any way, and it completely is a kick in the face of accessibility at 17 days before the European Accessibility Act, which is only really a symbolic deadline because all the legislation is already up and running in the whole of Europe. And if you trade in Europe, you're going to have to abide by it. And this fails any possible contrast guideline around. And I'm horrified. I'm like, what am I going to do if this is the interface and I'm not able to opt out? Then I'm going to have to go Samsung. But that's too complicated. It's the only reason why I haven't done it yet, is that I'm horrified by how complicated it would be. I tried, and it's not like other companies are that much better anyway. But really, honestly, please, I cannot see this. I wouldn't be able to see anything. And why would you do this? How did they not think of it? It really is extraordinary to me, because you can include this as an option, but not ship a product that is inaccessible by default. Now, a wonderful person yesterday told me, her name is Elizabeth Ellie, and she's a fantastic designer and educator. She told me to do this. So I've been ranting here and there about it. And here are a few of my comments. So this is a really good post by Andy Bell, who's a great designer. And he says, the last two big announcements from Silicon Valley. Let me check that you've seen this. Yes, you are. Figma sites inaccessible mess. Let's not even go there right now. That's for another rant. Apple liquid glass inaccessible mess. I can't actually remember the last time Silicon Valley came up with something that was actually good. And it's gone sort of viral because it's a really, really good point. And he had something about AI. And all I say here is, it's almost as if the European Accessibility Act wasn't about to come bite them all in the arse. Spoiler alert, it is. And Matilda added here this really cool the thumbnail of the YouTube video where it reads "Liquid" asks for the masterful positioning of the play icon. That's absolutely brilliant. So something else that I said yesterday was actually this one comes before. So this is an influencer. He's Felix Haas. I hope I pronounce it correctly. So he works at Lovable, and he says he opens with this, and God help me. I see a lot of negative feedback about Apple's new UI update, but you are missing the point. It's not about glass effects or making every UI element transparent stroke shiny. It's about liquidity, depth, and movement, UI that feels alive. We are entering a new era of interface design. I'll stop here because honestly, Felix, I'm sure you're brilliant at what you do. I'm not leading the teams at Lovable, so you're doing way better than I am. Congrats to you, but this is drivel. And this is why. So this is my reply. I read this post and tried to work out whether it was an exercise in sarcasm, but nope, it seems like you are serious. You are summarily dismissing all those people like me who will literally be unable to use the interface because I won't see what the fuck the icons or banners say. So, any lofty consideration regarding the future of human computer interaction is irrelevant to me and to millions. And actually, I couldn't be bothered to check, but I think it's billions like me. This goes against any web content accessibility guideline, or even very simply, against any basic good design rule. We're talking design 101. Do designers get trained at all? Please come be trained because this is bad design, full stop. If a student presented this as a project, you would say, mate, you've totally forgot that the number one requirement is that people can read. Go back to the drawing board. I find it extraordinary that they decided to announce this a mere 18 days from the European Accessibility Act deadline. That means that members of the public will be able to sue private companies if they're unable to use their products. And one person replied, she said, I think, woman presenting, thank you so much for saying this. I have been boiling at some of the comments. And really, it's because otherwise there are people that can't see. And I have vision. I'm going to find it super annoying and very trying. But ultimately, if I make a real effort, which will annoy me no end, but I would be able to actually read it. But so many people simply won't be able to. So, and even if you can opt out, this should not be automatically opted in. You cannot ship a product that is inaccessible by default. And I know that being a designer at a big company comes with so many pitfalls. I'm sure I can't even imagine. But where are the accessibility people? Because Apple are supposed, I'm going to bring up the image again, or some of the images. There are so many, but this one is really quite egregious. Actually, there are a few really good ones. This one, my God, this one. I don't know if it's real, but it's published by TechCrunch, so it should be. It's completely invisible, especially against a light background. Anyway, I digressed. I was saying basically that a lot of people will be completely unable to see. Oh yeah, and I was saying that I'm sure it's terribly difficult to be a designer in a huge organization like that, but Apple are actually famous for their accessibility innovations. But I think they're forgetting here that not everybody uses a screen reader. A lot of people with low vision or other types of visual problems, like I have a few, some are quite weird, don't actually don't use a screen reader. We have vision, but we have vision issues that mean that we require proper contrast, and there is zero contrast here. It's so bad. And even apparently there's a reduced transparency thing that you can do, but it's just not good enough. Actually, there's one brilliant post about it. Let me just find it, by my friend Damien. Damien? Oh, it's here. Yeah, it was before. Sorry, I should have organized it. Yeah, Apple's new liquid glass style. How is this accessible? Short answer, it isn't. Another one of my comments that I made. Another one that I made, I think maybe the first one. An inaccessible, unreadable interface for a lot of people. Both screens look unusable to me. Here they are. Here they are. Oh, what a mess. I hope they refine this. It's such a total mess. Even with reduce enabled, which, by the way, puts the onus on the user. First, you turn my interface into something I can't see, and then you make me work to make it a little bit less terrible, but still quite hard for me to discern. So this is what we get to read about 18 days from the European Accessibility Act. Great. That was yesterday. So today is 17 days from the European Accessibility Act. So where's the post? Where's Damien's post? So that's my other post. Oh, yes, here it is. So Damien from Hatch Conference, where I'm going again in September, doing a workshop on how to be creative and accessible. Damien says, Apple just dropped the new liquid glass UI at WWDC 25, which is their developers conference. Looks cool, but also pretty unreadable. And he carries on describing what is wrong with it, which is a lot. And in the end, he says something that I find absolutely groundbreakingly important. This isn't nitpicking. When Apple sets a visual trend, a lot of teams follow. And that's the problem, because now designers at startups and agencies are going to be asked to make it look like Apple, even if it tanks contrast, clarity, or legibility. Accessibility isn't a trade-off for good design. It is good design. Come on, people. This is really basic. I don't get it. I don't get what they did. And I don't care if I can opt out. I just already said that. This is my channel and I'm ranting. Okay. So this is another post that annoyed me a little bit. So Liz Ojeda, I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe Ojeda? I don't know. I apologize, Liz. So she says, I've seen the critiques. I agree with many of them, but I'm tired of reading the same takes over and over again. So today I'm choosing to highlight what's good, or at least what could grow from the mess. Yes, the new liquid glass UI by Apple is hard to read, the contrast too low, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing, people are talking loudly, and maybe that's a start. Design the blocks cited might finally spark curiosity about what it means to design beyond vision. What? Auditory and motor accessibility are still overlooked. If still this controversy opens that door, intentionally or not, I'm here for it. No, sorry. The overwhelming majority of accessibility issues on the web are actually color contrast issues. Like the latest WebAIM report, I think it's about still around more than 80%. So no, it's not true that auditory and motor, auditory maybe, but I mean, all of it is overlooked. Definitely not visual. Come on. What's the point? And so maybe it's a rebellion, maybe it's just UX, who knows? But we do know how to, I don't honestly don't get her point, but we do know how to spot contrast issues. We have tools, we have research. So did they test it? Probably. I think that Apple are known not to test, in fact, so much. I don't know. I don't work there. Will they fix it? Hopefully. Is it just a failure? I don't think so. Sometimes I like playing devil's advocate, because in all this noise, there's fertile ground if you know how to look. And I honestly don't know how to look. So Liz, if you ever see this, not that anybody maybe will ever see this, but if you do see this, please explain, because I do not understand what you mean by fertile ground. That people start talking about accessibility, I think that what's most likely to happen is what Damien said, that Apple set trends. They've done it always with everything. They still do. So that's very, very dangerous. And lots of people reacted and liked it. I haven't seen anybody, um, anybody. I don't know. I don't really understand it. So I'm saying here, I've been vocal about it because I am a prisoner, or I feel like a prisoner of Apple's microcosm. There's another way to say, I shouldn't use the word microcosm, but I can't think of the right term. So if you can think of it, put in the comments. Thank you, the two people that we watch this. And I'm genuinely worried in case I can't completely opt out of this invisible update. I won't be able to see anything, and I will get so ridiculously outraged every single day. My cortisol levels will go through the roof. Cortisol is the hormone of stress, if you don't know. And no, I don't believe that reduced transparency will be enough. It might mean finally having to shut up shop and go shepherd goats on a mountain somewhere in Eurasia, where, by the way, I would probably still be required to have a smartphone to do my banking. As for the fertile ground that you speak of, Liz, would you mind telling me where to look? I really don't see it. Perhaps I should reduce transparency, which is my feeble attempt at levity. Anyway, so these are my rants, and I love how the Apple article, they say Apple introduces a delightful and elegant new software design. Honestly, please hire new press people. Anyway, this was my very first rant. Oh, I've been going for 16 minutes. I better stop. This was exciting. I don't like that background. I'm going to have to take it out. But I think it's the first video ever that I make to my channel. So that was it. Accessibility matters. Please ship products that are accessible by default and not the other way around. And remember that in 17 days from now, the 28th of June 2025, the European Accessibility Act will come into full force. But anyway, the legislation in all of Europe has already been active for a while. The European Accessibility Act is only a directive. I won't go into that right now. But anyway, I'm having loads of fun. I don't care if nobody ever sees it, and I will do it again. Bye.